Good afternoon. I'm Dan Gibson, Mayor of Natchez, and we are coming to you live from the front steps of City Hall. And we are very serious about a certain matter, and we are very grateful that we have a district attorney who's serious. If you've been reading the headlines, you've noticed that we've had some tragedy, we've had some violence, we've had some senseless murder in our community, and we are not going to tolerate it. I am very proud of Tim Cotton, who is our district attorney, and who, along with our sheriff, our police chief, men and women in uniform who are here behind us, is taking a proactive stance. And it is Mr. Cotton who has called this press conference. We're very grateful. And so without further ado, I'm turning this over to our district attorney, the Honorable Tim Cotton.
Thank you. Mayor, I wish that in a time like this that I could be addressing the community with a smile on my face. For those that do know me and those who have worked with me over the years, you understand what you see is what you get. And right now you're getting somebody who is very, very unhappy. Yesterday was Veterans Day. We're fortunate here in our community to have a number of veterans who gave their life and sacrifice for the freedoms that we have locally and abroad. 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, I'm getting phone calls that while we're celebrating those who gave their lives for us, we are now having to prepare to mourn the loss for an individual who was senselessly killed. A 61-year-old individual painting his house, not a harm to anybody. You know, I hear leaders and people talk about the word compassion. Compassion this, compassion that. Compassion is a word. It shouldn't be. Compassion is a feeling. And right now I'm feeling pretty compassionate about the frustration and the anger that I have and that I sensed yesterday. In no community should a 61-year-old man enjoying the later stages of his life painting a house at 2 o'clock when schools are getting ready to be dismissed. Children are running around playing. And that's what these guys are called to do. The community should be outraged. You know, when you do this job, it's supposed to be political because you're elected. But your DA shouldn't be a politician. He should be a person that works in the shadows and in the courtroom seeking justice for people, and we're doing it every day. We expect more from us. I expect more from my office, and they expect more from me. But to give you a humbling thought as a community, I want you to think about this. Because I do every single time I hear about a homicide. I don't immediately start going into, all right, what happened? Do we have a suspect? What's the motive? As a human being, I stop and I say, dear God, what must have gone through that person's mind right before their life was took? I don't care what's going on across this country, the state. I care what goes on in the community where we raise our children and we make our ways of life. Received phone calls this weekend, 1,000+ people at the cemetery, one of our largest gatherings for tourists. People asking about hearing multiple gunshots. And I know that those on the street that are committing these offenses, they may not have a whole lot of fear in what we do. But I want them to be rest assured that we don't have a whole lot of fear in them either. We need the community. We need the help. If you don't feel comfortable talking to law enforcement, if you don't feel comfortable worried putting yourself out there, call Crime Stoppers. If you can't do that, call my office. If you're worried about calling somebody's office, this is your office. Our door is open. Come see us. You know, each time something happens, I read the comments, I listen, and I understand that everybody wants to point a finger somewhere about where something didn't happen, but we don't have the facts. I have yet to read a comment or an article anywhere at any point to show that what actually happened in a particular case was as it was. Every case and set of facts are different. Today, I will accept any and all blame for anything that goes wrong in any violent crime, so we can stop that. Point the finger at me. Make no mistake about it. Law enforcement is not behind me today as a showing of force. They're not here with a threat to the community. They're not here to make a picture to show those out there who think they may have gotten away with something, that they're behind me and that I'm behind them. They're here, ladies and gentlemen, because these guys are selfless. And I want you to think about that. Inasmuch as you may criticize any one of them for what they're doing or not doing, when you pick up the phone and call 911, you understand that they're at your mercy as much as you're at theirs, because they're relying on what you can tell them. They're humans. We try to pay them enough, but quite frankly, can you? Can you? When the streets don't talk, what facts do you expect them to gather? I understand the DA's office does not investigate crimes. That's not our job. We prosecute the cases that are brought to us. And what they bring to us is the very best case that they can bring. And we work together on a daily basis to try to make it better. We have unsolved homicides. And for anyone who thinks that this job is easy, come spend a day with us. I have a particular mother I'm not going to name. I hear from her on weekends. I hear from her on nights. I hear from her early mornings. I hear from her. She just wants justice for her son who was gunned down viciously. Would you? I know I would. But the facts are hard to come by. Getting leads are difficult, and until the community feels the anger that I feel now, the outrage, then the very few people that are causing us to live in fear are ruling the majority. As soon as a community realizes that they are the minority, and we start coming forward, we start working with these guys, every one of them, then this community will be what it's supposed to be. I used to, at McLaurin Junior High and Elementary, every day, it was a great thing. You'd wait till 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock got here, you got out of school, you'd walk from McLaurin, walk under the underpass, go to the old M&M grocery, get a snack, walk home. We'd be 30 or 40 people deep going to somebody's house to play ball. No phones. Be home when the street lights comes on. And the thing about that is, guys, nobody was excluded. We were 30 or 40 people deep, white, black, male, female. It didn't matter. And the crossroads we're at today doesn't discriminate either. This is an act against humanity. And this entire constituency of this community should demand more. I do. And I'm not going to rest until the families of those who have been affected can get rest themselves. My condolences to the events of yesterday. And this is not open season in our community again. For those who think that they're above the law, that they're smarter, just because you haven't been apprehended or you haven't been named, it doesn't mean we don't know who you are. And quite frankly, you just don't know how much we know about you. That's a promise. I went in Walmart soon after taking office. Walked in there. One of your ADAs was with me as a witness. I ran into a guy, I'm not going to mention his name. His name's been around for quite some time. I prosecuted him years ago. He paid his debt to society. I didn't know he was out. He came up to me, he hugged me. I asked him how he was doing. He said, good. I asked him what the word on the street was. And the word then was, and he said, to stay out of your way. I want to be clear to those who think that they can pick up a gun and run our community. You're in my way, your way. And neither are any of these individuals behind us. We're better than this. But it's going to take a community-based, coming forward effort to get this community back where it needs to be. The people behind me, I commend. This is not a saber-rattling, chest-beating political speech. This is a compassionate, angered, call to arms speech for those who want to take the war to our streets. I support the guys behind me. I ask you do the same. They are working overtime because they don't want a call to go unanswered. And I promise you that they don't want a crime to go unsolved. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we feel your passion, and we agree that it's time. It's time to put an end to this crazy madness. And it is time that people continue to live in peace in a beautiful community that we all call home. For additional comments, Mr. Cotton, we could also ask our chief of police, our sheriff, to come forward. But would you like to address any questions that the media may have?
Sure.
Do we have any questions?
I can answer something that most of that will answer a lot of questions. And sometimes it'll help these guys because chief and the sheriff, what they get the most is, tell me what happened, give me the facts, tell me who did it and why. They're in a position where they want to tell you everything they know, but quite frankly, they can't. My office's standard answer is, it's not proper to comment about pending litigation. Sometimes it's hard to get the community to come forward and talk when they feel like certain things are already linked or leaked, like a witness here or who a defendant may be or where this took place and whose house this was at. So sometimes the best thing to do is to take it on the chin initially, and I understand the public wants immediate answers, but unfortunately they're not that immediate. It's hard for those guys, both of them, and I'm not speaking for you, Chief, and I'm not speaking for you, Sheriff. Y'all are both very good at speaking for yourselves. But sometimes it's just not proper to talk about an investigation because we want to keep things quiet and not let people know who we're after and why. Any questions based off of that?
Could our chief or investigators over here give us an example of what the smallest amount of information that could be helpful could be, that anybody could provide related to this incident?
Besides the name, anything out of the ordinary that anyone may have seen or heard, or just anything that they think may be helpful. Even if you don't think it's helpful, it could be. So anything that was not normal in the day-to-day operations of that area, if someone would come forward, it would be greatly appreciated.
Sheriff?
Also, in addition to what the DA said and the chief said, I hope y'all heard the DA's plea today. But for those who are out in the public, we're always telling you all, if you see something, to say something. You just asked an important question. You know we always want a name because we like sharks when we smell blood in the water like that. But in addition to that, technology. If you go back and think about what time this incident occurred, people have all kinds of doorbell cameras and all kinds of technology around their home. I don't even care if you were live on Facebook during that time. If you have anything that can point in the right direction, and I'm not saying what nobody has at this point, but I'm just giving you examples of what you can provide. Whether it's a doorbell cameras, whether you've seen cars leaving that area, where you've seen any particular people walking down the streets during that time, anything that's ordinary or out the ordinary, we need to know that. And the people who are going to know that are the people who are in that area, who sit on their porches, who watch people walk to and from school and to and from stores every day. Somebody had more than likely saw something that day, and we need you all to reach out by calling Crime Stoppers, line. I'm sure you'll post it on there, Sabrina, or calling 911, or like the DA say, walk right into the office. As far as the sheriff's office go, we're here, and we want the DA to know and the city police department know that they have the full support of us. Whatever technology, manpower, whatever y'all need, we in this together. So to those criminals out there who committed this act, we hope to be seeing you soon.
Thank you.
Sabrina, let me address one more thing. And I know there is a concern and fear in the community from citizens who do come forward. You know, the justice system as a whole, over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, has experienced a slowdown, whether it be from the labs, whether it be from COVID. Things have happened that have slowed things down. From a human standpoint, I understand sometimes the reluctance of coming forward because it appears that it's taken so long to get from point A to point B, and it makes people scared. The one thing I would ask of the sheriff and of the chief is to support me in saying it's sped up and we're moving fast. Would you agree with me on that, Sheriff?
I would.
Would you agree with me on that, Chief?
Certainly would.
Is there anything that hasn't been previously stated about this case that you could shed some light on? Anything that we haven't reported on, you discovered?
Not at this time.
Mr. Cotton, I want to just say in closing, we're very grateful for you. I know you have been working and your staff to prosecute crimes. In fact, many that were there as just open files when you became our district attorney last year or at the very beginning of this year. You've made a lot of progress. And working with our police, our sheriff's office, I think we just saw the headlines just 3 weeks ago that crime was down. And it is a shame, and it is actually a mockery of your good efforts and the good efforts of these men and women, that there would be those that don't want to see crime down, but would rather see just the opposite. So you have our full support, because obviously the top priority of any community is to keep our city, our county safe. We are grateful to have the new lights. We're grateful to have new cameras. But we do need, and I want to reemphasize, we need the cooperation of our public. If you know anything, report it. Call Crime Stoppers, call the police, call the sheriff, or call the DA. And no detail is too small. What you think may be insignificant may be just the detail they need. Yes, yes. Alderwoman Hall.
I was with Mr. Cotton, Chief Green, her men and women yesterday when after this event occurred. I also addressed it this morning in my report at the Board of Aldermen meeting. These heinous crimes have to stop. I am behind Mr. Cotton, behind the sheriff, behind the chief, and their men and women. It's too much. It's too much. And when will it ever end? When is enough enough? And I want to commend them yesterday. They were just as calm with the victims' families and doing their jobs. It's important for, I think, family members to understand, too, when there has been a murder, they're not going to let you come up and see the body. So please be respectful of law enforcement when they're trying to do their jobs. And just be aware, they will be speaking with you. But at that time, they will comfort you, which I did see happening yesterday. They will comfort you, but they will not be discussing any details with you. They will speak with you, but they will not allow you to go up and view a deceased person's body at that moment. But I am behind you, Mr. Cotton. And this morning I also said to the individuals who committed this particular crime or any crime that is still unsolved, do an examination of conscience. Get with your families, get counsel, and turn yourselves in. That's going to be the best route you need to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Mr. Cotton, thank you so much. Any closing words?
No, sir.
One more question. The rumors on Facebook and whispers on the street have been that these recent violent acts were a part of gang shootings and things of that nature. Is there anything that we've discovered at this point that either corroborates or disproves that?
No.
Thank you so much. May God bless Natchez. And we do lift up prayers for those families, loved ones who have been affected. And we also offer up our prayers for the safety of these men and women who, as you said, are selflessly serving our community. Thank you.